Vienna was always an extremely music-crazy city.
The Viennese character, the surface is very charming and still has that imperial decorum. And then there's, of course, the darker side.
There was a tremendous emergence of a new view of the mind in Vienna 1900, and the idea that truths are often hidden from the surface.
Vienna always attracted artists. Maybe we get here a glimpse of a better world, a world which never existed, except in the world of this music.
Vienna was the center of music since Haydn, Mozart, Beethoven, Brahms, Schubert. The whole classical period had its leadership from Vienna.
First of all, one has to look at the tradition of this country. There was this one family ruling the country for several centuries, the family Habsburg, which means there was continuity.
The Austrian Kaisers, but also the surrounding nobility, developed an amazing generosity for a new revolutionary contemporary art and music scene. Thereby, it could attract talents from everywhere in the old world.
You had already sort of the nurturing soil for something extraordinary to grow.
Austria was in the fortunate situation that it did not have the French Revolution. Mozart himself, like Beethoven, they were admirers of the revolution in France, but they were tame in really direct revolutionary battles with the power. Vienna embodied both enlightenment but also stability, and that created this Vienna School of Classical Music.
The other time of enormous creativity for Vienna was around 1900. This was a time when the speed of life changed dramatically.
First of all, I think there's a reason why Sigmund Freud came from Vienna. It was that insecurity. People didn't quite know how they would fit in, and sensing that the monarchy would not be able to survive.
Sigmund Freud was an incredible inspiration for his contemporaries through this exploration of the dream and layers of consciousness and subconsciousness.
Mostly the artists were trying to break from the tradition and the past. Vienna was mostly about neo-Gothic, Baroque, Renaissance, and artists wanted desperately to drop this facade and to try to get to the core of something.
Klimt is an Art Nouveau artist, and he began to do flat painting. This was one of the great steps toward modern art, the collapse of perspective. Why pretend it's three-dimensional when we know we're painting on a two-dimensional surface?
Also, the role of the artist was a different one in society. Mahler, I think, looked at himself as somebody who has this genius inspiration to contribute to the society. Mahler was the one who demanded that audiences show discipline and actually listen to music rather than to accept music as a background element for dinners and semi-orgies. Like in the early 19th century, Mahler disallowed certain behaviors in the new state opera, and Viennese hated him for that.
The artistic outpour of that time, it's something which I think we still have not digested really to the very day. But when you dig down deeper, it says so much about the modern life, which I think counts very much for why that time resonates with people all over the world.
Vienna today is thrillingly exciting, is full of contradictions, but it's vibrating.
There is something that resonates today still, something that is very unique to this culture.
Artists still come to Vienna because the dream still attracts them.
Vienna is a city of dreams. To have dreams means that you are really alive, and Vienna always has been good at that.